so I think there are two. Let's give two examples. I'll take one from each of my startups. So in the world of Smartgrade, a thing that we help multi-academy trusts with is how they standardize. So a very common problem, particularly at secondaries, is you want to create reliable assessments across, let's say, 10 or 20 secondary schools, but you can't buy an external assessment. You've somewhat standardized your curriculum, but schools have traditionally often written their own assessments, right? What we help schools do where they've standardized their curriculum, or at least have a set of common standards for the end of the year, is use their own schools within their multi-academy trust as the standardization sample. So you set and share assessments across a trust, and then we'll give you back a percentile rank and some other things for each student based on their position within that trust. So in other words, the innovation is looking outside of your individual school to a broader sample that isn't just national. Traditionally, what we've done is we've looked at either national data or school data. And multi-academy trusts have really helped schools look at a layer in between. You might not have a perfect national standardization sample in your MAT, but in a sense that doesn't matter too much as long as your sample is consistent. If you're looking at how you perform in the same group of schools year on year, then that position should be meaningful, and more meaningful if you're just trying to get a position within your own school. So standardization across a group of schools, that's a core part of what Smartgrade does, and I think that's innovation. I think the second thing which we're seeing more of, and this is what Carousel does, is in thinking around assessments, thinking in terms of question banks, not quizzes. One of the problems is if you're teaching and you want to set quizzes or tests for your students, you design those assessments either on the hoof a little bit, because it's like a Sunday night, you've got to write an assessment for your kids to do tomorrow, and it's a 10-question assessment on vocab or whatever that is. And that has a value, but it's very hard to be systematic across a year or even across a key stage, right? Across multiple years, so we call them a key stage in the UK. What we're seeing the more sophisticated trusts do, and what tools like Carousel help you do, is actually start the year by saying, here's my question bank, and what my technology is going to help me do is not just ask all of those questions once, but re-ask those questions, because the more you ask a question, the more it helps that knowledge embed in a student's long-term memory. And actually what the technology is going to do is help you ask the best question at the best time. So which questions have you not asked for a long time? That kind of thing, so that by the end of the year, you haven't just asked 100 quizzes and yay, I did 2 quizzes well, that would be impressive, but let's say 50 quizzes, 2 quizzes a week for 25 weeks or whatever. What you've actually done is you've started with a question bank, and you've made sure that you've asked each question at least 3 times or whatever that is. And I think thinking of a curriculum as a question bank, I think is really quite innovative, and I think it's helping people teach more effectively and question more effectively as well.